All right, so in this module, we're going to continue talking about keep eating more. We're going to talk about bringing breakfast, lunch, and dinner into play. And so I'm making sure that in this module, you have the full SimplyWise Eating blueprint. Now, the blueprint is not like a bunch of rules. It's not the same as a diet, in my opinion. It's about what do I need to give my body in what quantities to build happy cells and systems. And this is a set of quantities that are designed for weight loss. Unless you ask me for the men's version, you're looking at the woman's version. And you may already be feeling like this is too much food. I don't want to eat this much food. I don't think it's a good idea to eat this much food. I don't see how this is going to work. But you kind of heard the theories, what's behind this. I encourage you to give it a chance. And when you understand about flipping on and flipping off the fat switch in an animal's body, in the human's body, it makes sense to give our body abundant quantities, enough of the highly nutritious foods. And it's just not the way people are eating these days. It just isn't. So I really encourage you to build up to these quantities. If it's making any sense to you, give yourself a chance to feel, what is it like when I eat this abundant breakfast, this SimplyWise lunch, and the SimplyWise dinner? The quantities in this plan really make a difference. They really often, predictably and reliably add up to results people are looking for healthy, sustainable weight loss. So I just want to put in context the fact that in this program, we're just focusing on fundamental number one. But once you really have fundamental number one rolling and you're eating abundant, highly nutritious foods, especially if you're doing it in the quantities that are spelled out in the blueprint, everything else can really fall into place so much easier. So once you eat these quantities, it becomes much easier to stop snacking between meals. I thought that was going to be really hard. I've had so many clients tell me the same thing, that once you're eating the right quantities of food at your meals, of nutritious food, you don't want to snack in between. You're not hungry in between meals, right? If you want to quit storing excess fat, it doesn't make sense to eat so frequently. We need to get insulin sensitive again. That's so key to stop storing excess fat. So we really want to get to this 3 meals a day and no snacks, and we get there by eating enough at each meal. Now, I have a whole module on this in the Foundations program if you feel like it's still going to be hard for you. But when you're eating enough at the meals, it becomes much easier to stop snacking between meals. A lot of my clients have done a lot of emotional eating. One of my clients yesterday said, I am an emotional eater, like it's an identity, it's what she is. Well, that can just fall away when you start eating abundant, nutritious foods. It's just incompatible. Snacking's incompatible with this approach. It just doesn't really fit. And emotional eating just doesn't really fit. Can you kind of see how that might work? So the first fundamental is eat abundant, highly nutritious foods. The second fundamental is eat meals, not snacks. The third fundamental is keep it real and take cravingful, highly processed, non-nutritious food-like substances off the table for a period of time. I recommend a year. You may not be ready to do all that. I do find that the Foundations program really helps people feel like, yeah, I can totally see how to do this. But the fundamental key is eating this abundance of nutritious foods. You're just crowding out the non-nutritious food-like substances. It still takes a bit of a decision and a choice. Like, no matter what, these are the things I eat, and I don't eat those other things. Like, I'm not saying I'll never eat those other things, but for the next year, I want to see what that's like. We're not doing this because of any kind of arbitrary rules. What we're doing is reestablishing trust with our body and creating a predictable rhythm. And it changes so many things in our body. So we may have been getting excess cortisol, excess stress hormones that were keeping us awake, partly because our body felt it was undernourished, especially if we've been dieting. We get this increase in cortisol in our system. Well, that can start to regulate. Also, our hunger hormones changed. It looks like most people now have dysregulated hunger hormones, so they're going around feeling hungry a lot more than they should be. And it's because our body changes how those hormones function when we're not getting enough nutrition. And when we eat this way, we start to get more steady energy, maybe more bounce in your step. You might start sleeping better, waking up feeling better. I see more vibrance in people's faces within a couple of weeks of eating this way. So I hope that you're going to give it a try. When you look at the whole plan, keep in mind, this isn't about rules. It's about clarity and consistency, giving our body what it needs. So there's guardrails there that help make sure you're giving your body what it needs, that help you build a rhythm that makes sense. You're reprogramming your metabolism and making your body happy. And that's what makes it willing to flip off the fat switch. There's no benefit anymore to holding on to excess fat. That's why the body lets go. It feels so good. I hope you're really going to give yourself a chance to find out. All right.